is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Off the top, a Miami Lakes man is accused of shooting at two people. It's after they told him to stop taking photos of their cars. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch has the latest on the investigation.
This is a story about a 47-year-old man who is facing some serious charges after what was captured here in this parking lot early Monday morning. Miami-Dade police say Danny Casavilla Garcia was intoxicated when he had a confrontation with two men early Monday morning inside the shopping plaza. They say they confronted him when he was using his cell phone to take videos of their cars. They told him to stay away. That's when the video shows him acting erratically, and then police say he fired his gun at them. One victim was actually shot in the pelvis. Casavilla Garcia appeared before a judge in bond court. He's charged with attempted murder, shooting and throwing a deadly missile, and armed criminal mischief. We'll hear from his attorney in an hour coming up at 5 and have much more on the story then. In Miami Lakes, Peter Dinch, CBS News, Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, it's a dry and humid day across South Florida, but get ready for a cool down. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera is here to time it all out.
Yeah, Naja, we're looking for temperatures in the 50s eventually by Thursday morning behind this front, but ahead of it, it is warm and it's going to get steamy tomorrow. I think we're looking at mid-80s, going to get close to some record temperatures through the afternoon. Sitting in the upper 70s right now for Miami through Fort Lauderdale and down towards the Keys. Seeing a couple little showers migrating up from south to north there along the middle and lower Keys. Otherwise, mostly cloudy day today. That's the way it's averaged out, but for the most part dry, not much as far as rainfall. I am looking for this boundary here. That's the front that's going to bring us the cool air, but out ahead of it, you see the showers and storms have been kind of meandering across the same region. Eventually, this front will get a good push to the south, and it moves through tomorrow. I think by the afternoon, we'll start seeing the showers, even a couple of isolated thunderstorms that can't be ruled out. Behind it, that's when we turn cool briefly for Thursday morning. The reason it's brief is because the winds are going to come right off the water, and that's going to moderate our temperatures rather quickly. So we'll go from low 70s all of a sudden to 50s. So get ready for sweater weather for one morning on Wednesday in the 50s, and then right back up to average temperatures. In fact, even above average with upper 60s and lower 70s by the time we get into the weekend. As far as the humidity, that's going to drop as well. It is going to be warm and humid tonight and into tomorrow. We dive down a little bit for Thursday, Friday, and then we don't reemerge over in the humid side. It'll be on the cusp of comfortable there. So I think we're looking pretty good still for the weekend with a southeast wind as we check in on Next Weather rain tracker for the remainder of today and into tomorrow. Here are the southerly winds. Here comes the front over my shoulder there, and it looks like a pretty good line here across the Gulf. But it falls apart as it begins to approach our area. So yesterday we were talking about rain chances at 30. I'm down to 20 with this. But again, we'll look at that for the late afternoon and into the evening hours. It's just we haven't rained in a month here, so it'd be nice to get a couple of showers that accumulate a bit here. As we check in on Thursday, you see the cloud cover kind of fanning back up, and that is going to bring us still some additional shower activity as we head through Thursday. But by then, it'll be only about 10% coverage. So tomorrow, temperatures again into the low to mid 80s for the afternoon. With the humidity, it'll feel even warmer, and then we'll dive temperatures down to the 50s, mid 70s for highs on Thursday, and then the winds really start picking up. We're looking at gusty winds between 15 and 20. Could have gusts into the 25 to 30 mile an hour range. So we'll see if the Weather Service initiates a wind advisory for the end of the week. Temperatures, though, back to average for the weekend, upper 70s to lower 80s, even a little above average, with overnight lows moderating as well in the upper 60s to around 70.
Ivan, thank you. One person is in critical condition and another person is stable after a fight at a bar. It happened in Lake Worth. Two people were killed. Investigators are now piecing together what went down. A witness at the scene says it happened inside the Rock Irish Pub on Lake Avenue near South K Street. And this is what the scene looked like earlier this morning. One witness described what she saw.
Immediately ran in and saw two of our co-workers deceased on the floor, one in pretty bad condition. The other one had already ran out and found an ambulance, but four people shot.
The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office is asking anyone with information about the shooting to call police. And now to breaking news just in. A 26-year-old Ivy League grad has officially been charged with the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He shouted as he headed into his first court hearing in Pennsylvania. CBS News Miami's Jared Hill has the breakdown from New York.
26-year-old Luigi Mangione shouted to news cameras as he was led into his extradition hearing at the Blair County courthouse. He's charged with murder and other offenses in connection with the brazen shooting death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in the middle of New York City. Police in Altoona, Pennsylvania caught up with the fugitive Monday after someone recognized him at a McDonald's.
They asked him if he had been to New York recently.
And he responded nervously.
He was very nervous.
Anna Schechter with the CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit says charges were filed swiftly based on the evidence recovered on Mangione.
So he had the same fake ID that the person of interest used to check into that hostel on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. He also had a ghost gun that was capable of firing 9mm rounds. He also had those 9mm rounds in his bag.
Casings from those 9mm rounds were found here at the crime scene last week. Now all of the evidence from Mangione's arrest has been turned over to the NYPD. Mangione's felony arrest warrant mentions written admissions about the crime found with the defendant. CBS News has learned he ranted about corporate greed in a 3-page handwritten note. Mangione wrote that the U.S. has the most expensive healthcare system in the world, but ranks number 42 in life expectancy.
I knew him somewhat well. He was a nice kid.
Mangione comes from a wealthy background and elite schooling, but those who knew him recently said he suffered debilitating back pain. Authorities have balked at social media support for the suspect.
Hear me on this. He is no hero.
Mangione was denied bail and he is contesting extradition. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
The police department is telling all officers in the area to be careful. That's after they received threats via email and phone calls. Caught on camera, new video shows the moment a police pursuit came to a crashing end. Take a look. This is dash cam video from Florida Highway Patrol. It shows the vehicle speeding away from police in northwest Miami-Dade and then crashing into a pole and a home. This happened along Northwest 103rd Street and 9th Avenue. Police say moments before the driver was driving recklessly in a street takeover, at least 3 people were detained. When we come back, an explosive emergency. A garbage truck blows up. What we learned about that blast. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. A mandatory evacuation is in place in Southern California. It's due to an explosive wildfire in Malibu. Officials say it has burned at least 1,700 acres. Strong winds are spreading the fire near Pepperdine University. CBS News Miami's Jonathan Vigliotti reports.
An inferno in the canyons of Malibu. Firefighters now battling what's being dubbed the Franklin Fire, which broke out last night around 11 p.m. local time near the picturesque Pepperdine University.
The fire is starting to go on top of the mountain and it's heading down and stuff. We just decided to get off campus because we didn't want to risk anything.
Look at this column of embers just erupting into the sky like that. It almost looks like a volcanic eruption.
The big concern is the powerful Santa Ana winds, along with the unusually low humidity. Strong winds are expected throughout the night. At one point, the fire was seen burning dangerously close to large homes just below the hillside.
We see the big towering flames, but it's often those embers that spread all over the place.
These gusty conditions parallel the mountain fire that erupted in Ventura County last month. That fire torched about 200,000 acres and destroyed more than 200 homes. 3 people were killed.
And Pepperdine University was briefly threatened. You had the power cut off. Students were told to shelter in place. That threat has subsided, but classes are canceled. Meanwhile, red flag warnings remain in effect for Southern California through tomorrow evening. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Malibu, California.
The collapse of Syria's government brings new hope that an American journalist missing for 12 years will come home. Austin Tice went missing in 2012. It happened while he was reporting on the Syrian civil war. President Biden believes that he's alive, but admits there is no proof of that. His parents say, though, they have intel indicating that he is alive.
He's treated well, and he was in a safe place before all this started, so we're not sure where he is now, but we're sure we're going to find him, and we're sure that he's going to come home. There's no doubt about that.
Syrian rebels are said to be releasing inmates from prison, and Tice's father believes it is only a matter of time before they reach his son. New video shows the moment a garbage truck exploded in the middle of a quiet neighborhood in Illinois. Take a look. White smoke poured out of the truck moments before it detonated like a bomb. The blast sent debris raining onto the streets. This happened in Arlington Heights on Friday. Investigators believe the explosion was caused by a natural gas tank that helped operate the truck. 2 police officers and a firefighter suffered minor injuries. Don't forget, we have you covered this Sunday when the Dolphins take on the Houston Texans. It all begins at 11 a.m. with the Coach Mike McDaniel Show. That is followed by Dolphins Weekly Live at 11:30, kickoff at 1. That is followed by the 5th quarter after the game on CW Miami 33. And that is your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a fantastic day.